How's it going, everyone? Liam Catterson here as we react to Attack on Titan with episode 22, an episode that I'm really looking forward to after the crazy events that transpired in the last episode, with Squad Levi getting completely annihilated by the reformed female Titan who fought with the Titan form of Eren, and what looked like it was going to be a fight that Eren would win would be a fight that the female Titan would actually win. Even though she was quite vulnerable, she managed to get the one up on Eren, with her being able to decapitate Eren's head and then taking the human form of Eren. That's all you can really say as of now, because we're not falling for the same trick twice, and I don't think she's going to go all this way to kill Eren, so we'll just have to wait and see. I may provide an update video by the end of this current season. I'm still mulling things over regarding what I might have to say in this update video, but yeah, there might be an update video at the end of the season, just throwing out there a bit of caution, just in case it does come. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but if it does, then yeah. But with that said, let's get into Attack on Titan. This is episode 22, so with that said, let's go. Not for a second. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it wouldn't go through all this trouble if it wanted to kill Eren. Exactly. Good on it. Good on Levi. Oh, jeez, go Levi! Go, buddy! This is impressive. Good stuff, Levi. I don't think it can move. Oh my god! Is that like the saliva that was consumed with the Fallen back in episode 14, I think it was? Oh dang, she's absolutely... I'm wondering if that's because she's feels like she's failed. Hence why she's crying. That's interesting, seeing a Titan cry. Oh, this is a, like, stick to the heart, isn't it? The families of those who have fallen, like, was seeing them so enthusiastic, and it's like... You have to try not to dwell on it. Those doubts are easy to consume your mind. You just have to try and push them to a backseat as hard as it is. Resources are low and... He's not being selfish. It's... You can't go back for him. Oh, Levi. I mean, that's the thing, like, it sucks, but what'll suck even more is bringing Titans here when you're planning on retreating. It's not worth the risk going back to retrieve their corpses, sadly. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I sympathize with him, but this is what we were worried about. And this is also the thing, you're gonna become the sacrifices, the deaths are gonna be a bit high if you go back. Oh, shh. Oh, go Mikasa, go! Close call, but... Exactly. It goes back to Levi saying dead is dead. It's sad, but you have to. Wait, was that Petra? Just with the way Levi looked back and... Oh... Oh, man. Still got something to go back to take back of him. Oh yeah. It's it really sickens your gut when your heroes are being disrespected. Wow. I mean, this has weight on what Erwin was saying about the death toll. It's what Eren saw with the survey call, like back in that flashback. How heroic they were, like, but it's there's this like depressing and harsh reality of how stressful the fight was. Damn it, that's really heartbreaking. Oh. Well, oh, fun. This is... Yeah, this is, going to be very... Yeah, this is the thing, though. Like, if this is going to result in a failure, then the Capitol will, we'll see this as like a colossal waste of time. That's what they tried to convey at the trial was not justifiable, and yeah, that's pretty heartbreaking, especially with the somber like the somberness that came with them coming back to the wall and seeing, well, not just seeing Petra's father like being so enthusiastic, but also seeing how the people were like asking all these questions, especially to Erwin, like was the sacrifices justifiable enough, like to learn more, etc., etc. Like with humanity on the brink, this like to like I guess to the civilian eye, and I guess to the capital, this isn't going to be acceptable. So yeah, that was a pretty heartbreaking episode for Attack on Titan. We dealt with the ramifications of the mission's failure and how everyone's now returned, with a lot of skeptics out there. Like, to, I guess, the civilian eye, you can't really blame the people for being very judgmental with the fact that a lot was lost. They came back with a lot of losses. Like, there was barely anything gained, I guess, from the Survey Corps. In the Survey Corps' perspective, they managed to have encountered like quite a few new details, I guess, with the female Titan, and I guess like little bits like they are able, especially the intelligence, they are able to cry, but they have not come up with anything in terms of successes, anything that will push the humans, I guess, in terms of this war against the Titans. So and it's going to be very interesting to see how things do proceed with Eren presumably being handed off to the military police, who we do not forget about the fact that they want him dead. So it should be very, very interesting to delve into that. I thought that this whole debacle with Eren being captured by the female Titan would last until like the very last episode, especially with a few episodes left remaining of season 1. But this does add some very, very new, interesting layers and complications. Not just for, like, I mean, things were already complicated with Squad Levi being annihilated and this mission already being deemed a failure, but the complications are now that Erwin is being tagged as like he's been tagged as this responsibility. Like, do you think this was justifiable? Like the numbers that are lost, like there are all these questions being posed by the public, and yeah, and not just that though, but Eren, like I said, presumably being handed off to the military police is going to cause complications and more. Like more of a split with this society. There's going to be this civil war that I have talked about previously, because we're going to be doing that song and dance, I'm assuming, all over again, in terms of, is it worth it, is it not? So yeah, but I thought this was a very, very heartbreaking episode, especially with the reactions from all of the families of those who have fallen, especially Petra's father. Petra's father was probably the one that really, really got to me, not just because of the fact that I really liked Petra, but Petra's father was so very, very like enthusiastic and joyful, and yeah, the stuff that he was coming out with was very, very heart-shattering. So, yeah. I also liked the parallels that was painted with Eren when he was a lot younger, before he joined the Survey Corps, seeing the Survey Corps that he was inspired by return, and seeing them in such prestige light, kind of sidelining the consequences. And now he's in their shoes. He kind of has that understanding that life is a lot more grimmer and a lot more stressful than the life that he had imagined. So I really, really loved that parallel where we did flashback to his younger days, where he did idolize the Survey Corps, and I guess he still does, but he now has an experience for how stressful and how demanding this whole situation is. He's in their shoes. So yeah, and you had the locals saying similar things in both present and past. So we also had one of the Survey Corps members as well wanting to go back to retrieve Ivan, I think it was. He's one of the fallen members of this expedition. And yeah, he was being denied at first. And this is what was alluded to about the fact that you have to make these you have to make these cold calls in terms of what you have to do in terms of being an efficient leader. And one of these examples is, like, though others might want to retrieve the corpses of their fallen and give them a proper burial, it might not be worth the risk. And as we found out in this episode, when they actually went to retrieve the bodies, it really wasn't worth the risk, because we had more complications with the Titans. And you can see why Erwin, the human side, well, this is the thing, that you have to put your human side to the bench, but he doesn't really want to do this. It breaks his heart having to say we can't go back for them. But it's strategical thinking. You can't really go back to them because it's going to bring the Titans around, and we don't want to. We've lost so many lives, and we don't want to keep having the death toll rise. And that's exactly what did happen. Like, we saw a few of the surviving members of the Survey Corps needlessly die, because this is the thing, you have to try and cut down the needless deaths as much as possible. And it's pretty heartbreaking to say retrieving your friends is a needless action to do, but it is. Like, at the end of it all goes back to what Levi says: dead is dead. But I really love the fact that he was able to comfort his friend by saying by giving him, I think it was Ivan's Survey Corps badge, by saying they're alive. They are still alive, to me at least. So whereas not their body, it's still a part of them. So I really, really loved that touch from Levi. Levi was impressive in this episode, especially how he went toe-to-toe against a female Titan and absolutely annihilated her, just showing us all how incredibly skilled he is, because it seemed like he was able to take down the female Titan without a sweat. And yes, the female Titan was vulnerable, but when you consider Eren, who turned into a Titan to take on the female Titan, you thought, okay, well, the female Titan's going to suffer really, really badly. It was very, very interesting to see our expectations subverted when the female Titan got the one up on Eren. So I think Levi being able to take care of the female Titan almost without breaking a sweat is just a great example of how much of a powerful character he is. And I loved that complication with Mikasa as well, because Mikasa was so determined on killing her, especially with how she managed to get to Eren. But Levi had to keep her in check. So, I really, really loved that difference. But yeah, this was, like I said, a very, very heartbreaking episode for Attack on Titan. Seeing the seeing the hopes of the families of those who have fallen on, like, okay, I can't wait for them to return, like, even if it's for a brief second. And us, the viewers, having to, we have to gulp that one down, because, they're dead. Like, sadly, they are not going to come home, contrary to what the families think. So, and like I said, it's building some interesting layers into the final few episodes. So, but that was Attack on Titan. So, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!